Hit the Target podcast.
Hello and welcome to Hit the Target podcast powered by Hollywood Bets. I'm your host, Desh, and with me in studio today is Siphesihle, Soni, and Afghan specialist, Mogale, Sathekge.
Thank you so much, Desh, for welcoming me.
Greetings. 1 minute I'm Gift. The next I'm Siphesihle.
Yeah.
Next episode I'm Soni.
Well, look, you're a man of many talents, and I know you have many caps. Today, I want you to tell me how you felt watching that Bafana Bafana performance.
Compliments to the team and the coach. We did our best. I think Nigeria was the better team on the day.
Yeah.
But I can say I'm good with the performance.
You happy? Happy with the run?
They did their best.
Yeah.
Nigeria was just the better team on the day. Yeah.
Mo, are you upset that we got knocked out in the semis?
Yeah, man, Dash, a bitter pill to swallow. It's just how we lost the game.
Yeah.
And how I thought that South Africa, actually, the way they played, they deserved to win yesterday. But unfortunately, not taking your chances, as I always talk to you about taking your chances in the field of play, will cost you at the end of the game. We lost in penalties. I mean, only a man can take it like a man to say we lost the game with penalties. I mean, it's a win-win situation there. Penalties are just like gambling. No one is perfect with penalties.
Yeah.
So
it is a football out there.
Yeah, it's part of football, and you can lose a very big and important game through penalties.
Mo just mentioned penalties, and if you look at how Ronald Williams played in the previous fixture, it was the quarters against Cape Verde. Absolutely phenomenal in the nets.
It was brilliant. Yesterday he did play his part. It's just that penalties are penalties. Nigerian players are not Cape Verde players, so it wasn't his day.
Yeah. Let me ask you, should he have played with his injury? Because you saw just before the penalty shootout, he made that save and he was kind of like clutching his shoulder. Yeah. Do you think maybe Bruce should have substituted him?
I think he should have substituted him.
Yeah.
I think 100% Velimotwa is better than a 50% Ronwen Williams. Yeah.
And you look at Motoa's clean sheets. I think last season under Brandon Tritter, he kept like 5 clean sheets like consecutively. Do you think he would have had a difference in this one?
Look, like I'm saying, he said, a goalkeeper needs both his arms to stop the penalties. And believe me, after that save he made, making sure that he takes the ball from Lookman during the extra time when Lookman attacked so that Nigeria could bury us. Ronwen kind of like had a strain on his left arm.
Yeah.
So I think also that determined the moment of the game and the penalties, because you could see a lot of discomfort in him when it was during penalty shootout time. So at least we had Ricardo Goss and Velumotwa there. We know they are short stoppers and good goalkeepers.
Yeah.
We could have gambled and went for one because, we know how good Ronwen is. But I saw a lot of discomfort in him. Yeah. And I think Bruce could have had like a big heart there and made that decision to put in a fresh goalkeeper in Velumotwa or Ricardo Goss.
And, I guess further to add to your point, all goalkeepers would have undergone the same training and game analysis. I'm sure when the coaches were running out the game plan and considered penalties, all of them would have been exposed to the information. And you look at Williams, how he pointed to Bruce in the quarters, and it was almost saying like his technical team, his staff, and he even mentioned in his post-match that there was a lot of work done by the analysts.
Yeah, that's why me and Mogale are saying the Motwa and Goss are capable. I think Bruce should have substituted him.
Look, Dash, in the modern day football, it's nothing new that, you'd have a goalkeeper performing very well on the field of play, and they get an injury towards the end and so forth. And I mean, I can give you a typical example with Netherlands. I mean, look at what Louis van Gaal used to do when it comes to Tim. Is it Tim Krul?
Yeah, Tim Krul normally comes off the bench.
Yes, he would come off the bench, not have played the whole 90 minutes just to stop the penalties. You know, that just shows you that during such tournaments of this high magnitude, everyone is in it, their mentality and everything and so forth. So I believe that if we could have brought Mota or Gos in, they could have easily gotten into the party and tried to save the national team to go through to the finals.
100%. I want to actually speak to you about a substitute that was brought onto the pitch and then subbed off. Zakashle Lapasa. Tell me.
I think it was tactics. Wasn't it just Lepasa came in and then we got a red card. Yeah, we had a red card. So then they had to substitute him for Sibisi because we needed to tighten things at the back. So I'm sure Lepasa understand that it's nothing personal. Yeah. It's just something that's had to be done.
Will he be rewarded with a place in this weekend's fixture?
Who, Lepasa or...
Will Lepasa actually play? Because look at what happened. He maybe before he entered the pitch, he was guaranteed some minutes by Bruce. You know, Bruce has shown him faith in previous fixtures, you know, and even when he was on loan at Supersport, he still played for the national team. Do you think he gets a start now?
I don't think he will start. I think Bruce doesn't really like, we've seen that Bruce doesn't really like, to make changes
to the starting 11,
he has started with the same starting 11 for quite a number of games. So I think maybe he'll get those few minutes, around. But I don't think he'll start.
Mo, let me ask you, how do you think we're going to set up against DRC?
I mean, look, very important factors to look at. Kekana is not there. Kulu was substituted. So I think for Kekana, you will opt for someone of CBC's caliber and style of play to pair with Mvala at the back. And you keep the same team. But in the middle of the park, I think we are playing for third position, by the way. But I think a player like Monari deserves like some minutes in the middle of the park. And also Lepasa up front deserves some. And also Apolis. They deserve some minutes game time, and everything and some game time. So I think if we can have like 3 or 2 tactical changes, that will benefit the team, and that's okay. And I still also think that if Ronwen Williams in goals is still not okay and is still feeling some discomfort on his left arm, they can still opt to go for someone like Vili Mota or Ricardo Gos for that game.
Gift. Mo just said that we are actually playing for third place this weekend. I mean, if you had told me that at the start of AFCON, I would never have believed you, and now we're actually here. What do you make about that?
Good performance by the boys. Shout out to them. Shout out to the coach. It's been a while since we performed like that in AFCON. When the tournament started, okay, let me take it back. When Bruce announced his squad, a lot of us were very vocal about how unhappy we are with his selection. But I think most of us, we ate a humble pie, because they surprised us with their performance. So for them to reach the third place, I would have liked for him to lift the trophy again. But
that would have been incredible.
Yeah, and
third place is so far seems like the best that we can achieve.
And just to add on what you're saying, we should not shy away, guys, that for the first time ever,
yes.
Bafana Bafana has taken a team or a squad dominated by the PSL players to such a big tournament. That has never happened. Whether to the World Cup, whether to playing AFCON qualifiers, or that has never happened. It is always a mix of players playing abroad and so forth. We only had, I think we only had one player in this team who was playing in Europe, and that is Siphesihle, who plays at Tondela FC. And Pesita, who obviously is continental, he plays for Al Ahly. So we had a team. Hugo Bruce must be given credit, and credit to him and the boys, because he assembled a Bafana team that is in the top 4 to the AFCON tournament, that with a lot of PSL based players. We never saw that coming. Like you're saying, a lot of people had like a lot of opinions on the squad and everything, but the man, because he's that good at what he does, he did what he did. He selected the players that he had faith in, and he's so funny because I just love how he can change his mind around. Remember his remarks before the qualifiers about Tambazwani, saying Tambazwani is old, he doesn't play continental football. But look, now the man
back-to-back man of the match performances in the tournament.
He saw what Zwani is capable of. The man was included in our 23-man final squad to go and play AFCON in Ivory Coast.
How do you feel about the upcoming World Cup qualifiers? Now, I know, I think we lost to, was it Rwanda away, and then we won against Benin at home? Yeah. We'll play more World Cup qualifiers later this year, 2024. Are we booking our spots?
We are definitely booking our spot. I mean, I can tell you there's with this team that played, you already know that when it comes to the defensive part, I think the only position for me that is still open, it's not the striking position. It's just the left back position and the wingers going forward. But our back defense, Muta, Umvala, Kekana, I will continue with them. And with the left backs, Mayala just came back from injury for Pirates, and you can just try and see which player can fit in there and so forth. Williams is doing very well in goals. In the middle field, I mean, you have players who were not selected because the coach said they didn't have enough time to prepare. Your player in Njabulo Blom and a couple of players that we can mention. And and you know, we were missing players like Hlongwane from who plays in USA. So I mean, if those players are fit and everything, they can still be called and come and join the team. I mean, there's a lot of players that we missed. Mutiba because of the injury and so forth. So it's not like we are saying we will stick to the same team and players going to the World Cup qualifiers and so forth. There are players who are still going to rise up, and Lodge went to Sundowns now. Yeah. We don't know what will be Lodge's stats in the next coming 4 months because he's playing for Sundowns now. We might find ourselves with Lodge being our deadly number 10 in the next coming few days or weeks, replacing
that was actually my point, because currently there's a handful of players that are already over 30. And if you, with the World Cup being in 2026, they'll be like quite old. And now you're going to ask them to play against some of the world's best players. Age is not on their side. Does Lodge go in immediately?
With regards to that, we have seen a number of young stars, you know, coming up in the PSL. I think we've mentioned, you know, Jaden Adams is good. Magaman there at Super Sports, Police. We have. I'm not worried, to be honest. If we do qualify, we have quite a number of young stars that you know, Coach Hugo Bruce can you know, prepare for the World Cup. So,
but does he make that change?
Lodge.
Not just Lodge. You mentioned the youngsters.
Yes.
Does he make that change about integrating the youngsters in now, as in maybe as early as this weekend, but definitely in the World Cup qualifiers, because you want to have synergy amongst your players. You look at the team that played in this AFCON and went as well, potentially finish as third place. They played with each other at Sundowns and, you know, throughout last year, to be honest. So does he make the change now, and as in integrating the youth, or not?
I mean, to answer that, Dash, I can tell you. I mean, honestly speaking, the Bafana team that is playing right now, you can kind of say it's not completely new, but I mean, we know that the previous games that we played, there are few players who were there, but they are not there now. You get my point?
Yeah.
For instance, I can give you a typical example. I mean, the team that was playing Nigeria, the last game that we played in Nigeria, are you aware that only 2 or 3 teams or 3 players are in this current Bafana team that plays the last game against Nigeria?
Yeah.
So that shows you that football has got this thing of saying I will predict the future and whatever. You pick players according to their form. You pick players according to their level of seriousness on the pitch. I mean, you don't have Ronaldo and a Messi. You can take an injured Ronaldo to a World Cup, and whenever he gets better, you can send somebody home for Ronaldo to play. But with South Africa, with a whole lot of talent, guys, let's not forget. I mean, we can't say, yes, we want young players, but we have to mix them with experienced and old players for us to be able to stand a good chance to win this big tournament. I mean, Bongani Zungu is still there.
Yeah.
Don't count him out. Lodge, Lodge is 31 now. I mean, I don't understand what will be the fuss of Lodge playing in 2026.
Yeah.
Lodge will be 32, 33. That's the normal age. And Rupelo played up until 35. You are a middle fielder, and we know what you are capable of. You are a number 10. We know what you are capable of. I mean, for me, I would say you can't plan around a player who's maybe 36 or 35. But again, it depends on who the player is.
And what
the player is capable of.
Sure.
Because, I mean, Cameroon could still plan around the Didier and Samuel Eto'o, who was 33. Ivory Coast could still plan around Didier Drogba, who was 33 or so forth. So, like I'm saying, it depends on the player and what the player is capable of and how good the player is.
Okay.
Yeah, a typical example, Zwane. Zwane is performing, but the age is not on his side. You mentioned it, even Coach Bruce one sidelined him because of the age, but he saw that the man is performing.
Yeah.
And so I think we just have to wait and see. When it comes to games, you need to pick a person that is performing at that time, So, it's good. Coach should integrate the young players into the squad, but at the same time, we need to qualify.
It's absolutely crucial. I mean, the last time we were in a World Cup, it was because we hosted it. So, when was the last time that we actually qualified?
And that was more than a decade ago.
Okay. My next question is a bit of an opinion based on, there's been many top performances from Bafana players in this AFCON. Can you single out one person and tell me what makes it like your man of the match or your man of the tournament, rather, a Bafana player who's really impressed you?
For me, they played as a team, but I'm gonna have to go with Williams.
Williams, eh? Your player of the tournament.
I'm gonna have to go with Williams. His performance against Cape Verde is unmatched.
Yeah.
He did us a solid there. So
goalkeeper of the tournament.
Yeah. He deserves it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
I think he gets it for me as well. You?
My unsung hero for Bafana from the first game up until yesterday, Motovi Mvala.
Mvala, eh?
I'm not even looking back. Just look at Motovi Mvala's stats. Just look at the players that Motovi Mvala had to come across in terms of pound to pound, the strikers. Motovi Mvala closed your favorite striker, El Nesri, for Morocco, the whole 90 minutes. Motovi Mvala was up against Osimhen yesterday and Lokman, and he did his best. Motovi Mvala was up against your Bebe and that is it Rodriguez, that number 10 from Cape Verde. And Motovi Mvala did his best. I mean, we played against Mali. We saw how hard he played, and we saw how much he needed another player who trusted and played more harder than him. That's why the coach, when we went to the second game and played Namibia, he opted for Kekana and dropped Kulu. Because I think Kulu was the weakest link during our opener for AFCON. So for me, man, Motovi Mvala, I mean, even with whether he makes mistakes or so forth, but Mvala is my unsung hero for this AFCON when it comes to the Bafana team.
Absolutely incredible stuff from you. Very passionate response.
Yes.
Sure.
I agree with him. Yeah.
Okay, let's move our attention to the fixture, the final. Ivory Coast, Nigeria. Take it away.
It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. You know, when the tournament started, you know, and the way that Ivory Coast performed, we didn't think that they would reach the final. But here we are. Yeah, both teams stand a chance of lifting the trophy. Yeah.
With the home advantage, it kind of feels like they're going to go on to lift it. I just think that the fans are going to be singing their praises. It's like, no.
Look, I look at the Nigeria team.
Yeah.
I cannot single any more than 3 players, even with the quality that they have. Yes, you can say Nwabali in the goalpost has been doing his job exceptionally well. Lookman threatening and working extra hard in the forefront with Osimhen. But besides that, I don't have any other. And also, you can single out Trostekong. But I'm telling you about the Ivory Coast that lost their first game. And when they were given a chance to redeem themselves, they did that. Yeah. You have so many Ivorian players now who plays in top leagues in the world that they are showing that they are playing there. I mean, look at how, for instance, Sebastian Haller plays. Look at how Seko Fofana plays whenever he gets a chance. I mean, who's this guy who's the captain? Serge Aurier. Look at how that guy gives in 100%. So, for me, at this present moment,
it's Ivory Coast as well. Nicolas Pepe, like formerly of Arsenal. I think at one stage, Nicolas Pepe was Arsenal's most expensive signing. Yeah, that's incredible. Yes. Club like Arsenal, London-based club, felt this is a man that's gonna change our future, really.
Yeah. So like I'm saying, man, I think like Ivory Coast at this present moment, they stand a chance of lifting the trophy. For me, it's a 80-20% chance. Ivory Coast 80% chance. Nigeria 20% chance.
In closing, give me your prediction. I think you kind of, are we looking at 90 minutes? Yeah, 90 minutes?
90 minutes. Ivory Coast to win it 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Gift?
Nigeria,
take it for you.
Yes, I'm giving it to Nigeria.
Penalties? 90. Penalties, eh?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Well, gents, it's been an absolute pleasure discussing all things AFCON related with you. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and I can't wait for the next major tournament to happen. Until next week.
Thanks. It was a great tournament. Yeah. One of the best AFCONs we've seen.
It's a showbie. Thank you so much, Desh.
Sure, cheers.
Sharp.
Hit the Target Podcast.